Oh boy, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Michael. What are we gonna do about Peyton's car? Oh, Peyton,
Yeah.
dude, what is going on with your car, man?
That's the funny thing is nobody really knows.
Well, I know.
You do.
Yeah, the devil is inside your car,
Amen.
and he's trying to ruin my show. So, you gotta sell it. I highly recommend you sell it, and then get a Tesla.
If only.
They're cheap now, man.
The dream life. How cheap?
35 grand.
That thing was like 10 grand. And that
Dude,
everything out of it.
dude, I'm blood red mad right now. Blood red mad.
You should take it to Legit Automotive.
I had AAA. They looked at me and they're like, I got no idea what's
Okay,
wrong with it.
you know what? That's fine. You're gonna solve this problem eventually, right?
Hopefully.
You have 3 weeks to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Take it to Legit Automotive.
Worst case scenario, we just send an Uber over to pick you up from now on.
Right.
Yeah. So we got that solved. Now, am I telling the world about our problems here at Wesam's World? Yes, I am. Why? Because we're personal. That's the kind of show we are. Michael, why are you laughing at that? That's who we are, man. Should I tell people about? You know what? We should go around the room telling people about our personal problems. No? Okay. Suck the energy right out of the room. It got really real. I love saying that to people because then they're like, ooh, no, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want people to know about that. That's okay. Really excited about our drink sponsor, Guayake. I've been saying it differently every single time. I don't think they appreciate that, but it's a joke. It's guake, and it tastes so good. I probably drink one a day now, but I'm extra busy nowadays, so that's probably why. Anyway, thank you to our drink sponsor. Thank you to Adobe. Real quick, thank you to all of our new listeners who have subscribed to the show, who are listening to us on Adobe or listening to us now on iTunes podcasts or Spotify or even watching on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention to us. The show is for you. People are walking by the studio, and now everybody turns to look, and it makes me look, and it throws me off. So everybody's fired. I'm kidding. Would never fire everybody. Way too caffeinated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited for our guest today. I listened to some of their music this week, and I don't know, I'm the worst at describing music, but it's like poppy rap. It's energetic. I like it. It's hot. Am I allowed to say it's hot? People are nodding their head. Yes, it's hot. They're called Munnycat. They're here now, but they're from Ohio, and they have the coolest names. It's Khaledzu or Khaledzu. I like saying it, the international way. And Kate 808. Wait, Kate 08? Kate 08, not Kate 808. Kate 808 is another rapper. Kate 08, I'm just kidding. It's Kate 08. I'm really excited to have them on the show. They're super nice people. Really excited to talk to them about their music, first and foremost. Expensive coffee, and the secrets to the universe. So it's probably going to be the best episode yet here on the show. We're hitting a wide range of things, but that's the way we do it at Wesam's World. Am I forgetting anything else, Michael? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, for those of you listening on Adobe Radio, the show doesn't stop at the hour mark. No siree, or no ma'am-y. No mammy? No siree? No mammy? You know what I'm saying. You can download the full episode with all the extras for free on iTunes, Spotify, or subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can watch my beautiful face. And sometimes you get to see Michael's beautiful face. And Peyton's never on camera, so you don't get to see what he looks like. Ever. Now, if you've been hearing a camera during this segment, you're not crazy. It's the wonderful Alex. She's taking some new photos for our show. She's actually the creator of our logo, an extremely talented artist, actress, and many other things, in my opinion. So special shout out and thanks to her for all her help. That is a very nice compliment. Very rare for me to give out that kind of compliment.
That's a nice compliment.
That's big time. That's prime time compliment. Katie and Khaled are outside right now going, what did we get ourselves into? Who is this guy? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Munnycat. Oh. Katie, Khalid,
I don't know what to
welcome.
say. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. It's been quite the eventful morning, I feel like.
It really has
Yes.
It's exciting.
Uh-huh.
It's new. And thank you for staying.
Absolutely,
been.
absolutely.
You know, we saw you guys in here getting set up when we pulled in, and we were trying to parallel park. And I was hoping you guys didn't see us
Yeah.
because I couldn't do it, and I was embarrassing myself.
I
so
actually
hard.
got out and took
We
over
had to
for
switch
her.
seats,
Oh
and
my
he had
goodness.
to
That
finish
happens
parking
kind of
for us.
often, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's not that weird of a scenario.
Can't do it.
If you don't think about it too hard, you're awesome at it. Or lots of times I'll just reach over and do it from the passenger seat.
Right.
But sometimes she'll just go, "Can you just do it?" And then I'll just get out and do it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a man sitting in his car, and you know when you parallel parking, you have to pull up like next to the other car, and he was kind of glaring. I think he was like,
It
"This
made
girl."
it worse. It
Yeah.
made me very nervous. And then you guys were in here, and I was watching you and I was thinking, God, I hope they don't see me right now.
They're
High
probably in
stakes.
there.
It's
Yeah.
high stakes, you know?
Whatever.
Before I forget, because
Yes.
my mind branches off so much during this show, we were chit-chatting a little bit,
Yeah.
and I overheard you say something about coffee and
Yes.
how expensive, like the one you get at Starbucks
Yes.
is, correct?
Yeah.
Do you like pour-overs?
Yeah.
Do you,
You do.
Like
That's
I-
what you get.
What do I do?
Pour over. So when you get your decaf one, it's pour over.
Oh yeah,
it's like
yeah.
fresh.
Live.
Oh yeah, in the Clover.
They don't have a Clover up here, probably.
Yeah, but like at Starbucks.
We've had. You ever
That's
had
what
the
I do.
Clover?
They have like a
the
Clover.
Clover's like, I don't know. It's some high tech stuff they have at Starbucks. It's really good.
oh, no. Is it one of those fancy Starbuckses that...
Maybe we've been to those.
Yeah, I went to one in Chicago, and I was like, ooh, why aren't all Starbuckses like this?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's one in Palm Springs, and they have like ice cream. They have an ice cream
Affogato,
bar.
I think it's
yeah,
called.
You can
Yeah.
get an
Yeah,
affogato.
oh my
it's
God.
it's super bougie.
Well, the reason I bring that up
Yeah.
is because at Cafe Dulce, which the owner has been on the show before, and it's where I do meet up with my buddy Isaiah for our Sunday acting class, they have these very organic coffee, and they do pour-overs with them there, and they have these like wonderful notes to them.
Yeah.
I'm acting like I'm a coffee connoisseur all of a sudden. But because I've been drinking so much of it, I have been distinguishing
Yeah.
like the certain little flavors in there. They have this one coffee called, I think it's called the Geisha coffee. I might be wrong on the name. Anyway, it's $8 for the pour over.
Wow.
And they're like, it's really, really good. And I'm like, well, let's try it and see. It better be for $8.
Was it?
The best cup of coffee I've ever had in my life.
Seriously?
That makes
It's
me, yeah.
it's sweet and fruity and has it smells like jasmine.
Oh my goodness.
It's bonkers.
We're going. What is this place
Yeah.
called?
They give you like a nice buzz, a good high. Like
Oh,
a coffee, like wake
Of
you up.
course. So it's in downtown, Little Tokyo, Cafe Dulce.
Got you.
Yeah.
Cool.
You have to go.
We got on there sometime.
I didn't even really know that I liked like good coffee until we were in Portland.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of drank coffee because like coffee, I liked being high from coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But in Portland, there's such a coffee culture that's like insane, and there were so many good coffee shops. So we kind of got into it there. But like,
Well, I actually
definitely not a
I hit
pro
a
in it.
breaking point in Portland.
Yeah, that's right.
I realized that I actually needed to cut back because I was like drinking so much good coffee that I noticed I was getting heart palpitations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, this isn't normal. So
Yeah.
I went cold turkey over Christmas, and then I slowly started reintroducing it into my diet. And now like I'm totally back on the coffee wagon, but I have significantly less in a day.
Yeah.
I used to eat I used to drink like a bucket, like the Trentas at Starbucks. And sometimes we have an iced coffee maker at home. I would have a coffee on my way to get my coffee.
yeah, that's
And then
pretty
once we
bad.
got into Portland,
Whoa.
we had coffee at the house we were staying at that was like so
Amazing.
good. But we would want to get out and see the community, so we would like
We'd
go
walk to a
exploring,
coffee
or we'd
shop,
go
and
to
then
a
we'd
coffee
drink
shop.
another coffee, and then we were having like panic attacks.
And then I was
It
crying at lunch. Like, I know.
what is wrong? It was bad. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm much better now.
That's good. Yeah, balance is the key. There's you guys listen to the Fighter and the Kid podcast?
No.
One of the guys on it, the fighter, quote unquote, his name is Brendan Schaub, and he's a big coffee guy too. And he was going on these fasting things, and all of a sudden he started getting really sick and throwing up. And his buddy Brian, the other co-host of the show, was like, "What are you eating?" He's like, "Nothing." He's like, "Are you drinking anything?" He's like, "I had some coffee." And he's like, "How much?" No joke. The guy had like those red eyes where it's like coffee and then shots of espressos, like what
It's
you're
insane.
describing. And yeah, it was so acidic in his stomach that it was messing up his whole system.
Your whole body.
Yeah.
Totally.
The guy is a huge guy though. He's like 6'3" or 6'4", and like bunch of muscle, but it still messed him up pretty
Like
crazy.
caffeine is a gift, right?
Yeah.
But it also like everything in moderation. So like
You're
it
supposed
brings
to have
me so much joy.
400 milligrams is too much.
I literally
Uh-oh.
was
That's
having probably
probably
like 500,
6,000.
600 a day,
Like-
like for a while. Yeah.
How many milligrams did you say?
I think-
400's the max that you should have before like your heart starts to be in danger.
According to our,
Oh,
my independent
oh, okay.
studies.
I'm
you're okay.
You're
I'm
good.
okay.
Yeah.
I had one this morning, but I was running
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
on a trail, and so I feel like I worked that out of my system.
Yeah.
And now I like to be very engaged with my guests, so I have some more
course.
yerba mate.
300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine can be consumed daily without any adverse effects.
There we go.
Oh, I'm
you're
at
good.
300.
You're
I'm not
probably
even
fine.
at 300.
You're
This is my
great.
can and a half.
You're in good shape.
I'm not addicted.
You're not. I can quit anytime I want.
we
Exactly.
did quit. We quit for a little bit.
Yeah.
And what I said is like, yeah, I did it. I proved that I could do it for like 9 days or something. But life just was joyless. So I was like, I'm gonna introduce it back in slowly. I know it sounds really ridiculous.
Honestly,
but
without
I was
caffeine,
unhappy.
everything was like black and white.
Yeah,
there was just
man.
not a lot of color in the world.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like I need a good reason to quit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm busy in my daily life in general, so I need those little like the supplements I take are like I like taking ginseng now, and then ginkgo leaf, and then what do I take turmeric and stuff for joints. It's all natural stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the stuff I take is supposed to help you sustain your energy throughout the day. And I've noticed significant improvements. So the caffeine helps just
Yeah.
to give it just that little extra stuff. But if for a day like I'm not doing much, I'm not having caffeine that day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to. So I
Chill
think that's
out on the
okay.
couch day.
Which I'm trying to like convince myself now on this show. This has become
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
oh boy, this
I
is
need
most
like
of the
at
show.
least a little bit every day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just a bit,
Yeah,
because if not, I'll get a headache.
there is withdrawal systems that they talk about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
fine.
nuts.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It ultimately is worth it, and I regret nothing.
There's way worse things to be
Yeah.
completely addicted to.
Absolutely.
true.
So whenever you guys make music,
Yeah.
is that like you get a little coffee,
Oh
and
my
then you
God.
guys go into the studio,
Yeah.
and then what's that process like for you guys? I mean, is it different every time? Is it like, Katie, we need to work on something, or is it like, Colin, we need to work on something?
Well, usually, because up in the studio is in our apartment. So we
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
instead of a dining room, we covered it in this, like, in the studio
Yeah.
wall.
Studio foam.
Yeah, in the foam. And we just, like, sit down in our in our dining room
Yeah.
studio, and we just, like, we get a lot of caffeine in us. I don't know. Like, we sort of, every song's a bit different, but I feel like normally we start by messing around with the track, and then when we find some really cool sounds, we just like smush it, and it becomes like a 15-second, really, really cool, really, really busy, over the top like wall of sound.
Yeah, we're just like, this is
Just, like,
insane
crazy
for
stuff.
15, 20 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? We start
Yeah.
playing, then we'll start playing some things. Then I feel like we, almost like an accordion, like we just kind of stretch it out and realize like, okay, there's a bunch of really cool ideas here, but they don't all have to happen at the same second.
Right.
There's like a general way.
Yeah.
And then usually once
it's
we get
like-
to a certain point, we're like, this is a very fascinating sound. It's kind of dope.
Yeah.
We leave and we walk. So we'll take the dog for a walk, or we'll walk around Ventura Boulevard, and we will write ideas in our phone for lyrics. Because sometimes you just got to get the heck out, and then we'll walk. Like lots of times, I feel like we've written whole songs on like a walk, and then
On
we
a
realize
dog
like,
walk.
and we walked 7 miles
Yeah.
Wow.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we usually get back. Then we start cutting vocals, and then we realize where there's problems. But there's always like We kind of do have I didn't realize we have a process.
Well, it's
but
all
I think we do.
it's a little different. Like sometimes we'll come up with concept ideas,
It usually actually does start with a concept.
but I think it starts with the track. I
Track
think that the
concept.
track directs the concept a lot of the times.
So something interesting that you guys said. Are you familiar with flow states?
No.
A little bit.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So the walks actually help promote that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a dang it, what's his name? He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he basically wrote a whole book on flow state. I'm sure you could do a simple search if people
You know
listening to this.
nothing about it? With like an overview, you probably can say it better.
Mihaly. I am not even gonna try that last name.
Okay, so basically, what flow state is that state of mind, body, soul, where you're working on a project, and it could be something artistic or craft-wise, and you're in the zone. I mean, everything's flowing. It almost seems like, for me as an actor, it's like, am I thinking on the word, or is the word thinking? Am I acting on the word, or is the word acting on me, kind of thing? I'm living so in the moment, and it's just growing organically from there. And you're kind of thinking about it, kind of not thinking about it, almost in auto mode, and you're trying to isolate that state, and it's this really beautiful state of mind. And so this
Yeah.
author talks about how he made these experiments, and he's actually found a way to get into that constantly. And one of the things he does is he'll work a little bit, go on a walk, work a little bit, go on a walk. And it's something to do with separating yourself completely from the work or doing something else completely, and then circulating the blood and getting, doing a little bit of a exercise,
Yeah.
and then you go back to it.
That's cool.
It feels like the change of scenery, just like going from one, we're locked in this one room, and then like we've done about as much as we can do without burning out, and then just like changing the scenery, getting some
Yeah.
fresh air, being in the sunshine. It just helps. It helps us get back on track, but like in a different way, where we're not thinking about like the track. We can actually like start thinking about lyrics.
I always think too, like,
Yeah.
I always try to like, when we get to like a musical problem or something, it's like you think about it as hard as you humanly can, and then you completely forget about it, and then the answer comes.
Yeah,
like if
yeah,
like
yeah.
we hit a wall, or if we hit a part where we're like, I don't know how to solve that, or this is cool, but what's missing? And you like almost you exhaust it, and then you just go, I'm out, and you walk. And a couple minutes into a walk, or sometimes it might be half an hour, or you'll just be like taking a pee or eating or something. You're just like, the answer is obvious, and it just like comes to your brain. So it's like you have to like think about it like crazy, and then just go, I'm not thinking about this, and then the answer comes.
And
That's for me.
honestly,
That's
Sorry,
probably
if you,
different than
just
the-
just a heads up, if you guys want to keep it just a fist.
oh, am I going
yeah,
far
for the
away?
words. Yeah, it's all good.
Yep,
Yeah, it's all
Here
good.
we go.
is
Yeah.
this good?
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
No, but I feel like a lot of the time, usually, I'm trying to think of a time when we liked the song the entire time we were working on it, and I can't actually think of a time.
No,
Usually, because we add so much into the first like 15, 20 seconds of the song, and then we try and spread it out. That spreading it out process, we literally, I feel like until the last hour and a half that we're working on the song, we think that the song is like the wackest thing we've ever done.
Hate it for a little
We
bit.
actively hate it, but we've started to trust the process, and we know that usually happens, and that we just have to keep on trucking, because once we hit that breakthrough, it's like so rewarding.
I think it's not like this with every song we've done together, but Munnycat songs in particular. There's so many pieces. It's like a lot. It's like our ADD project. Like a lot of it is like it's like noisy, like noise pop, and there's all these ideas happening at once. So I feel like with this project in particular, it's a very subtle thing where it's like it's awesome, it's horrible. Like you know what I mean? So if you're dealing with it's not like you have a band where you're like, I'm comfortable, this is where the drums sit, the bass is here, the guitars are here. But when you start getting into this kind of thing where there's like 118 drum tracks, there's like 47 keyboard tracks. So if the balance is out of whack, you're like, this song makes no sense at all. What is happening? So yeah, we've gotten to the point where we started to trust the process, where we're like so excited, we love it, we love it, we love it, we love it. Oh my God, what is happening? This is horrible. what are all these noises? This offends my ears. And then we just start massaging. And then we're like, or even sometimes even though we won't even like it that day, and we'll sleep and we'll wake up in the morning and be like,
This is way better than I thought it was.
we're so dope. We're geniuses.
Yeah.
Like the next morning, we're in love with it again. But
How many-
I don't know if everyone does that. I don't
don't
think everyone
know.
hates their art in the middle of it. But
I don't know.
I'm curious to know, how long have you guys been working together?
Like we've been working together like hardcore with this band for about 2.5 years. And but I feel
before that,
like
we had done a little
before
bit
that
of-
I had my own solo pop project, and he had a rock band, and we kept it really separate. But eventually, I let him co-write on one of my songs, and he let me help co-write, and I co-produced.
a couple songs. It was
Holy Moses
Yeah.
is like the one rock
you
song
like
I really
produced it.
yeah
She was like this all-out producer. On
Right.
that one.
yeah, and we started like taking these songs for our own projects to like music conferences and like showing them to people, and the only songs anybody really like got super excited about, they were like, all your stuff's really good, but like what about Holy Moses? And like what about The Dark Side
that
was the
one.
one that you helped me write. And it was just like the universe punching us in the face, saying like, you guys work better together. Like,
Yeah.
quit keeping this separate. Like, dive
Yeah.
in and just like work together.
The reason we kept
And
it
it's
separate
so
is
fun.
interesting, I think, too.
Yeah,
because-
yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting. So we met like 8 years. We just celebrated our 8-year meet-iversary. So
So just for our listeners,
Yeah.
you guys are
A couple.
yeah, a couple.
We're a
Are you guys
couple.
married or no?
No.
Just a couple. Okay, good
just
to know.
a couple.
Good to know.
But you know, she's obviously the most awesome thing in my life. But so we met like 8 years ago, and in the beginning, because we were both artists, like when I was younger, I dated some like other musician, I had like musician girlfriends, whatever, and it always got weird. Like for some reason, like there was like maybe it was probably just them. 'Cause I don't think it's true with everybody, but
Yeah.
or maybe it's just me. You know what I mean? But there was like always like there was like a thing, and I'd be like, I remember like I went through this phase where I was like, you know what? I shouldn't date songwriters. Like it's just too similar or whatever. And you know what I mean? And I was just like, and then I finally, when I met her, I was like, I just shouldn't date anyone ever. And then I met her, and I was like, I should date her. But yeah, so in the beginning, because I had a rock band and she had her own project that I was like I was a fan of. Like, you know what I mean? It almost like I know how to make my songs, but I met her and I was like, I don't want to give her advice on her music. I like love her. I don't want her music to sound like music I like. Like I love that. You know what I mean? So I feel like when we first met, I didn't get involved in your music kind of on purpose.
Well, and I also feel like I'm a female producer, and there aren't many of them, and it's kind of hard for female producers because a lot of the times, and it's not like because they're bad people, but you know, I feel like if I didn't do 100% of everything on my songs by myself, if a guy helped me, they would automatically, it would detract from all the hard work that I put into it. You know,
Right.
like they wouldn't, you know, like even with Munnycat stuff, sometimes people come up and they start talking to Colin about the tracks.
And they're like, yeah,
You
great
know.
vocals to her. And then they
Yeah.
look at me, they're like, so on that snare. And I'm
What'd
like,
you use?
I'm like, I
yeah,
don't know.
and I just feel like I really
Kate did
wanted
that.
it. I wanted to establish myself as a producer, so I really just felt like I had to do it all by myself. And I'm really glad
Great.
that I did that. But
Yeah.
eventually, when I got confident enough and comfortable enough with my production and my songwriting,
you did like 2 dope albums
yeah,
full of awesome stuff.
yeah, but I realized that like I don't actually care, and I enjoy making music more with you, and we make really dope stuff together. So it's funner. Like I don't feel like I want to prove. Like I don't have to prove anything anymore.
Right.
You know.
Well, so about how many years you think? Like
2.5 years of working together
So
on
I guess
stuff.
there was like 5 years. The first
Yeah.
5 years we were together, we
Which is
didn't really.
crazy.
It was separate.
And then how many years have you guys been just doing music in general, like production or like singing, that kind
Well,
of
we
thing?
met through music.
Yeah.
So I started doing voice lessons when I was 9. I wanted to be a Spice Girl when I was little, and I still do.
Yeah.
But so that like, I got involved really early on in music.
Yeah.
You-
I always had a piano. My mom and dad were real supportive and awesome in that world. Like my dad plays accordion. We always had pianos around. I took like violin lessons when I was young, but I was never like a virtuoso. It was always I just like for writing, you know what I mean? So I got good enough to play guitar and piano so I could like make songs. And then I did theater when I was like 12 to whatever. And then I made a record with my brother in our basement. Before I'd ever played a live show out, I'd never done anything like that. I just we made a whole record, and I moved to Denver, and it was one of those things where like talk about the universe trying to tell you something. I made like I'd burn a copy for like a friend, and then I'd burn another copy for like a friend and a friend. And it was one of those things where like I went to Kinko's and printed the books and did them all myself. And after a while, I was like. I kept going back into Kinko's, and they were like, "You're doing more of these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's just a hobby. Like, it was not a real thing to me. It was like, I make music because I love it, but like, I'm not trying to make." And after they're like, "You're kind of in here a lot. Like, how many?" I had made like 450 handmade CDs where I stapled them and you know what I mean, like folded, and I was like, "This is maybe people like this." And it was like once it was like. Enough people, and this is like back in the day.
Yeah, I was going to say you're dating
emails.
Yourself by saying I went and hand printed CDs at Kinko's.
I know. Well, it was a long time ago. It was like, and like also there wasn't like I think there was like CD Baby and stuff, but there wasn't like real easy ways to get music online that way. So I would get like an email from a stranger that'd be like, I know Jim whatever, and he had your CD. Can I get a copy? And I'd be like, I don't even know who Jim whatever is. So it was clearly like a couple a couple circles outside.
Yeah.
But so then, sorry, that's a long answer. But then I had a rock band for many years, and I love it. It's called The Zoo. We'll probably still make another record someday. And we were working on together. When we started working together, because it was a band, there's always like weird stuff where like you don't want like. Just he's dating a musician now and she's writing songs. So we tried to keep a little bit of a separation. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like Yoko Ono stuff and all that, people get weird. But when we started working together, even with the stuff we did with the band was just awesome. You know?
That's pretty amazing. It was a nice little genesis story of you guys. Well, the reason why I was asking like for how long you guys have been working in music, kind of go back on the process and everything like that. It's always interests me where artists are at and how their relationship with their own work is X number of years into it and how it evolves and changes. And I always like to compare that to mine and be like, oh, is that similar? Is that like, oh, I don't think I'm at that place, or oh, I've been at that place before. I wonder how they're going to overcome that maybe like sometimes, we have that negative relationship with our work. A lot of actors, for instance, will be like, I don't want to watch my work. I don't want to. It just, and then slowly maybe some people are like, no, let me take a look at it, or, oh, I should do that better, or something like that.
Do you watch your work? Out of curiosity?
Yeah, but extremely critical still because it's just so different. And I don't know what it's like for music because I feel like if you're playing something or you're producing it, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of the same output. Does that make sense?
Live
like
is
listening.
Live is different. Like,
okay.
So I feel like we're much more critical of our. By the time we finish a song, we're so in love with it. Like, we're really proud of it. We've fixed everything that we were self-conscious or weird about, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like I don't think there's any shame in saying that, like, we tune like an art form. Like, it's really fun for us. I feel like my voice is like might as well be a MIDI keyboard. Like, we just have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, and I know I can sing.
But it's different
but that's where it gets critical, is because we have a really finely tuned ear now. So when I'm singing unassisted,
it's like T-Pain, man.
It's
but
like,
he can sing amazingly.
Or like if we're just playing
like
an acoustic song and we're just like singing together for fun, we just hear our pitchiness and we're like,
or like
don't
I'll hear
share
the rhythm,
it.
or I'll hear the.
So that factor for you guys is like the camera for actors, because you can be feeling it in a scene or like a self-tape, and then you see it and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or vice versa. And so then you really start questioning yourself at that point. But there is that wonderful sweet spot and trying to get into that flow state, knowing what the story is, knowing what, I guess, the heart of the song is, paralleling it, excuse me, not comparing. And once you figure that out, being truthful, and once you can hit that, then you watch, you're like, okay, that's fine. That works. Yeah. It's always fine tuning too. Then you have to add like a bunch of other things on top of it, like the director and where it fits in with the rest of the story. So
acting is in real time. It was same thing with like, I guess, like performing out, but like those things that are in real time like that is like, there is so many magical elements in the audience, and you know what I mean. So I understand that. Like it is. I would say it's different making a record. Not like 100%, but it is.
And if we were making a committee record, it might be more similar to that. Like if we had a lot more people involved, we just kind of have to please each other.
And
when
we
we're
don't have
making it.
because we're still very, we're kind of independent. We have like deadlines internally, and we have deadlines with people if we're collaborating with. But it's not like there's like some industry that's like it needs to be there Monday. So if it's like Monday morning and it's like not there yet, we're just like, all right, let's go get a burrito and like come back to it, or what I mean? And, like we can revisit.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities, and again, obviously it's not the same, so there's going to be some differences. But I do love the how much control you can have over the technical aspect of music making nowadays, especially on the computer. Because I see my brother produce stuff, and I'm like, wow, you can do anything. It's like Photoshop.
That intro he did was really dope.
Yeah, and he did that years ago.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's true. And then there's also the idea, too, that we always run into where with Photoshop and with the studio is that, like, because you can do everything, how do you, like, stop? Or how do you know when it's done? Or how do you know when it's...
Yeah, how do you know?
You know what I mean?
For you guys.
I don't know, because I don't know.
Is it different for every song?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little different for every song, but honestly, with our stuff in particular, I feel like if we fit anything else into it, it'll just break. You know? Because we really stuff every second. Every microsecond of our songs have something new and weird going on. It's very ADD by design. Like we love it like that. We want it to be really interesting. And there is such thing as overstuffing it. And if you overstuff it, you just really won't know what to be listening to. Yeah. So I think that's how we kind of know when it's done.
Yeah. For sure. And I think the quote ADD aspect of it, where it's like there's a lot going on, but it's done in a nice balance to where it engages the listener, I think. And I think that's why you guys have been so successful commercial-wise with your music too, being able to license it and, big companies using it for their commercials, etc. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll keep talking.
Dope.
So, thanks, man.
Yeah.
See ya.
We're back.
Yeah.
Any new music you guys got out right now?
We just released a single on March 27th called Don't Stop, Drip, Drip, Drop. And we kind of wrote it. It was inspired by, like, those heat waves we get in the valley.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God.
What are you talking? Heat waves in the valley?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we, like, literally love the valley.
Sometimes I feel like I identify with being from, like, living in the valley more than LA.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, will be like, oh, where are you guys from? And I'm like, we live in Studio City. And, like, oh, LA. I'm like, oh, yeah. We live in the valley. Like, we feel like that.
Yeah.
But it does get, like, 15 degrees hotter, I feel like, here than over the hill.
It just
you know what I
gets
mean?
so hot.
Right.
Yeah. So the song's about that.
Michael, without
sir.
necessarily showing the YouTube video on our wonderful TV screen here, I mean, can we just play a little bit of their song? YouTube has some crazy copyright stuff right now.
Oh.
So they won't even let us even playing the song. I think it'd be fine because you guys are here. I hope so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we
Maybe
we grant you permission.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's not play it on YouTube, okay? Let's just play it off iTunes.
Yeah,
Wink.
do that.
Yeah.
Wink. Does that make sense?
Play it on iTunes.
It'd be there.
It actually is. It is. I know it is there.
Yeah.
Which song?
Don't
the new
stop,
one.
drip, drip, drop
Don't stop.
by
Drip,
Munnycat.
I have a tattoo that says that on my back.
Do
Oh my
you
God,
really?
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a big back piece.
Wow.
Yeah.
With the emojis, with the thirst emojis.
Yeah,
do,
it's
we've
me.
been
Like
using that.
I have a katana and a shotgun, and I'm fighting off these zombies. and it's me just like slashing through them, and it's don't stop, drip drip drop because
Yeah.
of all
Very
the
good.
blood and everything.
'Cause of all the blood, it's good,
and you
yeah.
don't want to stop because of you'll be a
Wow,
zombie. Yeah.
that's really good. We should do that with a video.
We actually
Make it-
wrote this song about your tattoo.
Yeah.
Dude, if have you guys already made a music video for it?
No, we still have to
No.
do it.
I think we have the idea.
think
It's
we
just
have
me
the
killing
idea.
zombies for
Sounds so
4 minutes, just like really brutal.
Just
Yeah.
like violent. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
okay, we'll
do
talk about it
it.
later.
Horror
We'll talk about it
movie,
later.
yeah.
Khaled's like, no, we're not.
No, we are. We sure are.
I was just telling Khaled the other day that there's an alternate timeline where I am like the world's best and brightest and most up and coming horror director.
Yeah.
That was like a career trajectory that I could
She
have
was
gone
on.
down.
The universe.
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
I know.
I just threw that out there.
Yeah.
It was instinctual.
Okay, that's
We're in a
good.
flow state.
We'll
We're in
do
a
We've
it.
come full
flow state.
It's
circle.
a flow state.
Ready?
We'll
Let's
do
play
it.
the song. Now I'm just imagining fight scenes in my
See?
head with zombies and the dichotomy of the song
Of that
and
boppy.
I really
It
love.
plays.
That song's
when
actually one of the
I-
least ADD ones.
Well,
That's like
I-
a pretty straightforward pop song in a good way.
Do you remember in The Watchmen when they took that really
Bob
pleasant
Dylan, wasn't
song, and they made it like really gory and like a fight scene
it?
underneath
Was that
it?
Blowing in the Wind? Or no, are you talking about, I think the intro was
It was
Bob
like a
Dylan song.
happy song. It was like an actively
got it.
happy song. I feel like this song would
Yeah. Yeah.
serve well with like some really dark stuff going on
Is that,
underneath
did
it.
they do that in Umbrella Academy? With
They
the
do,
sun
yeah.
shines and lollipop and they're like murdering people and it's like
Are you talking about the times they are a changing?
Yes. But there was maybe another one too that was like
I think that's the intro in Watchmen.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. There's a scene where like the
it's like
comedians murdering
no-
everybody.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
it might be what's her name? You love her so much. Close to you.
Oh, the Carpenters.
Yeah,
I love
think
Karen
it might be
Carpenter.
like the Carpenters.
I
Yeah.
used to say they're a guilty pleasure, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna own that. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the Carpenters. I
Yeah.
love the Carpenters.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other like real guilty pleasures then?
I think because I grew up being such a pop music fan. Because I grew up being such a pop music fan, I don't think that any of them are guilty. I just think
Yeah.
I unabashedly enjoy 90s pop, like
That's
all
fine.
that,
You just
like
played
the most.
Ashley Simpson's whole record the other day, like
So
a night and a half
fun.
ago, and screamed to the top of your lungs along with it. And it
Yeah.
was very fun to watch. I think I had issues with that. I've gotten over my issues. When I was younger, I was like it was like way too punk rock for my own good, and I was like. And I wasn't judgy, but it was like, here's music that I love, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I just went through a phase where I always misquote this. A really smart person said this about poetry, and I liked it. But they said like hating a poem is like declaring war on an ice cream sundae. Like I take that to music, right? I go like hating a song is like a waste of energy. Like it's just this lovely little thing that someone created, someone expressed, even if it's not for you. So I
Maybe
try
you're not the
to-
target demographic.
Yeah, and even in my life, things that I thought when I was younger, I was like, I hate that guitar tone or whatever, or that, this and that, or that drum
Yeah.
sound. Man, like 4 years later, I'll be like, that's the jam. Like, and I will
Yeah.
like love it because I'm at a different spot. Music has changed. My tastes have changed. So
Yeah.
I try not to do, but we're giving a very technical answer, but I know what he means. So guilty pleasures, I freaking love the Carpenters, and I could see someone being surprised that I love the Carpenters.
I really like what's that, like Lil Jon stuff, like that
yeah, like
2004
Yeah.
like hip hop that
Yeah.
had some pop in it but was like really over the top and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I guess that would be like
Like
something that I
unexpected things. Like,
unexpected.
You know that I have a
You
little
love a lot of
history
alt
with that
country,
song.
actually.
Oh yeah, wait, Lil Jon.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we were going back to the songs, like
Yeah.
you know that it's not for me. It's definitely that's not
Yeah.
for me. You know, I have strong opinions about it.
Yes.
If somebody else likes it, that's fine. But for me, it's not okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, no, yeah, I can't. I'm being so nice right now.
Yeah.
No,
But that's
but
okay.
like for instance, if Kanye West to me was more or less egotistical,
Yeah.
I would enjoy his music a lot more. And there's a song like when you say like how can you hate a song? I think
Yeah.
there's one song that I hate. That
Scoop diddy poop.
Yes.
Scoop daddy poop.
Well, here's
Poop.
Okay, guys.
we have opinions on Kanye.
Okay.
Like, okay, so I personally feel like Kanye is very confident, but like if you're gonna be making art, honestly, we try to be Kanye when we're making
Yeah.
art, where you're just so confident about what you're doing, and if somebody doesn't like you, they're wrong.
Yeah, you
You're not
kinda
wrong.
have
Okay.
to
You know,
do-
like we're not making it for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have to kind of put yourself in that mentality. Now, I think that he's got a lot of other weird things going on that maybe amplify it a
Right.
bit. But like he always delivers, and I think with Boop Diddy Scoop in particular, I think he was actually making this like larger statement that everybody hypes up his stuff so much, and they
Yeah.
care so much
Like,
about
I
what
could
he's
say
got to
poop
say
diddy scoop on a record. And
that
it'll
he's
still-
just gonna leave that there, and that's his new song, and you're all gonna talk about it, and he's just not gonna care, and he's gonna keep making art.
Some
like
meta
I think
Kanye
it was meta.
commentary.
I don't think he actually thought that it was like a good thing. But also in that song, they have
yeah.
some really beautiful
The
chorus,
track
like
is pretty dope.
really pretty like church choir stuff
Yeah.
going on. That's actually really stunning. And then that part drops, and you're like, you feel like he
He's the voice of a
bamboozled you.
generation. He's a genius. Sorry.
I do. Okay, that's the thing though. If he really did that, that's being such
Yeah.
even worse artist to the people who actually.
He's trolling us all.
yeah, it's like
But I see through that, guys. No.
yeah.
He's trolling us all.
Listen, I totally get it. There's some songs of his I like, and I think, oh, cool. But it's the egotistical nature of the artist. And so for me,
Yeah.
I look beyond the music a lot of times. I have to go, what's the artist saying? Who is the artist?
Yeah.
You know, because that to me is important too. Where the art is coming from, the messenger of the art, if you will, and then to get really deep, it's like, for me, music is probably the most sacred of all art forms because of sound and vibration. So, what are you doing with that? What kind of message are you putting with that? What kind of energy are you putting out in the world with that kind of music? And what is the intention behind it? I think is so crucial. So yeah,
I think this is probably like such a huge. We could probably have.
I respectfully
we could have,
disagree.
like, a
That's all. That's all.
conference.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say we could do like a conference on this because it's such a thing right now. Like,
Yeah.
what do we do with art that we love by people that are
That we don't
horrible,
approve of?
or we don't like them as people? And obviously that there's where instantly where everyone's mind goes. But even stuff that like I don't want to like ruin anyone's day, but like. Maybe don't like I used to read like all the dish on the Beatles. I love the Beatles. So I love the Beatles. Obviously, I love the Beatles. And I used to read like all the books. And
Yeah.
then you start reading, you're like, how John Lennon treated Cynthia or whatever. And these are people's accounts. I don't know if they're true, but like the things I'd read, I'd just be like, oh, I can't finish this chapter. Like or Jerry
Didn't
Garcia.
he like sing in one of the Beatles songs that he used to beat his wife or something?
No, that's not real.
Wasn't it?
That's,
I used to be
that's
bad
Paul
to my
McCartney.
wife. Oh, or something.
That's Paul McCartney, and he's writing it was a character. That's I got to
it was a
admit,
character.
I don't know if I'm not singing it, but yes, I mean, or even I'm sure everybody, so that is very complicated because like I'm muting R. Kelly. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I get it.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. Everybody's fighting their own demons. I get it.
Yeah.
That's for the majority of people. But yeah, you have some really like crappy people out there, like
Yeah.
R. Kelly. You have a sex cult. You're a bad
Yeah.
person. You had sex with a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Bye. But like, so I don't know. I don't know. Like,
But when you put that, like Kanye is just kind of a crazy egotistical
here's a great example. I was speeding through movies on Netflix because I do that sometimes because I don't want to watch the whole thing. I'm just curious to see certain scenes. The Motley Crue movie on.
I want to see that.
So
Should we see it? Is it worth? Is it worth speed watching?
Well, the first like 3 minutes are so rated R. Like,
Oh, wow.
so it's a porno. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Netflix at least put some age restrictions because
Wow.
that's definitely not on the kids section.
Wow.
And you can watch that. I mean, there's no password protected thing if you want to watch it on your mom and dad's account. So maybe I just led astray some of our younger viewers.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You know what they're watching.
Oh man.
Anyway, you realize these guys, and I'm like, damn, like the lead singer. I'm like, guys, these guys are just your stereotypical rock band doing drugs, sex, all
They're
the
who
crazy
started
stuff.
the stereotype. It's stereotypical because of
Right.
them. Yeah.
And then you see how the lead singer, how he grew up, and you're like, oh, the worst way to grow up, you know? And you kind of have a little bit of sympathy for people like, man, you're not really that bad of a guy. You just had a really shitty head start. You had a really shitty start, and now you're trying to do the best with what you did, and it's, you know, not a lot of judgment after that point. You're like, it's understandable, you know.
Yeah.
That's I'm not trying to tell you how to feel about Kanye, but just like
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what I feel
I'm
like
already set.
that declaring war on an ice cream sundae. That's kind of what I mean. Like,
Yeah, I get it,
like,
I get it.
At some point, like when I was younger, like I was like, so when you're making art, I feel like sometimes you need to say like, this is me. And so by saying that this is me, you're saying I am not that, and that's kind of important in your process. If this is getting too heady, I apologize, but
No.
you know what I mean? Like you're like, this is my art, and my art is nothing like that art. And so there is a little bit of staking your
Well,
claim, but as like a
yeah.
fan, I feel like, or as a fan or not a fan, I feel like I've wasted a lot of time in my life like going like, oh yeah, well, that artist is whack, or that would, and then like maybe like 10 years later, I'm like, wait, that's kind of a cool song. Like, you know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
yeah.
Now listen, my opinion, and I just to go on the record, my opinion about Kanye didn't just come out of the blue or over just that one song.
Yeah.
It's like all the stories I've read about him, the way he acts whenever he's on TV shows, what he puts out there politically, what he does in his personal life. All that together forms my opinion. And yeah, I don't know the guy personally. Listen, I'm sure if I sat down with him and we just talked, of course we would. Like, it would be fine.
If you watch if you watch the Motley Crue movie version of Kanye's life, you'd be like, oh my god, like I
yeah.
get it. Like,
Maybe.
you know what I
I
mean?
just feel,
Maybe.
okay. So
This is a
listen.
very-
The way
this is
I
a
view
very-
Kanye is as a broken little bird. Like, so he grew up so poor in Chicago, and
Okay.
he had his mom, right? And
right.
he made it. He finally like clawed his way to the top of the production
Being a
and rap game.
producer,
He just wanted the women, like his mom, to be so happy. He was like, "Mom, I have all this money now. What can I do for you?" She wanted to get some kind of plastic surgery done, and he was like, "Of course, you got it." So he like got her a house, got her this plastic surgery, and this plastic surgery killed her. She had complications from it.
Okay.
So she died right at the height of his coming out onto the scene, and it was really traumatic for him. And then I feel like he got together with Kim, and he was just like, I love you so much. I just want to make you happy. I'm going to get you this big, beautiful diamond grill or this necklace.
Yeah.
I just want to shower you with love because I have money, and this is what I know how to do with it now. I was like, give it to you. She got robbed at gunpoint, tied up in a bathtub, and they took I just feel really bad for him. I feel like
So you should direct the movie.
I
on
should.
Netflix
I'm
that's
very
gonna-
sympathetic. I understand. I also think that he has bipolar disorder, and he's not always on his medication, and that's just a mental health struggle that you can't help. But so I feel like what he sees in Donald Trump is a little bit of projection, and I don't really think that it's real. But I really think I'm so into the Kardashians as well. I think that Kim is really good for him. I think he's really good for her. I think they're a power couple. He defended her when everybody said, what are you doing with Kim Kardashian? You are an artist and she is Kim Kardashian. He went, no, she's awesome and I'm going to defend her. And so that's why she defends him now, even though he says all this crazy shit that she doesn't agree with. I just think I could go on and on
And
all
he's the
day.
dopest.
And he
He's
has,
the
and if he
dopest.
didn't have the work to back it up, it would be a different story. But I feel like his stuff's just always
I just
really.
like this conversation too.
really
this is
good.
the kind of stuff that we
So-
I feel like I forgot we're on the radio. This is awesome.
No, it's all good. So, just as a clarify, I get passionate when I talk. Obviously, this is respectful disagreement. So
This is that fiery
I've never heard him talk.
Arab passion. we have
There you
in this
go.
room.
Dude, okay. I have never heard him talk on a public platform in an articulate way that I was like, okay, you know what? I disagree with your point of view, but I can see why you sit there. Every single time he comes on the public platform, it's nonsense. And nobody calls him out on it. Nobody goes, hey, man, what the fuck did you just say? Or, hey, what are you talking about? When he went to Donald Trump, listen, I don't care
That
if you're
was
for or him.
really rough.
Okay.
That was rough.
No,
That was hard
but
for me.
everybody's in the room. Everybody, you're the president. You have the most power to go, hey, man, you're in my office. What? Can you clarify that? And I feel like because people do that, because they're so infatuated with the music that they like he makes, that they're like, I'm kind of shy to say that to him. Or listen, all respect to him. Don't wish him any ill will. But if he was here, I'd be like, dude, when you talk, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And don't say it's because your artistry is too high. No, explain that to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
So while he
fair-
was
fair-
doing all
fair
of that,
arguments,
though,
right?
Kim was able to leverage his little silly friendship with the president, and she got. There was this woman who was like, she was accused. I think she was caught with like a few ounces of marijuana or something like that. It was something very first-time offender. She had like
what?
This woman like
Elise
she,
Marie Johnson.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have him.
Yes, it's really good to
No,
have
Michael
you
is
around.
Michael is the Google of
Fantastic.
Wesam's world.
So she was not wrongly accused, but the punishment didn't match the crime.
Okay.
She was in jail for
21 years.
21 years, and Kim Kardashian like found out about it and leveraged this little
All this publicity stuff with the
and
president.
talked to the president and got this woman released from jail. Because what was her exact crime that she was in jail for 21 years? Does it say?
Drug trafficking conspiracy.
Yes. It was like pot, first time offense. Like,
So just to get the details, because
Yes.
I don't know this story.
yeah.
Drug trafficking conspiracy
Yeah.
for a small amount of pot.
Yes.
we think
I believe.
we should make sure that
It was
Yeah.
either
Michael
pot or the
on.
cocaines, but it was this very small amount. And it was first time offense.
But it wasn't like, well, God, we're
Like
getting,
she
we're
missed
getting
out
real
on
into
her
some serious
children
subject.
growing up and her grandkids. She like missed out on a ton of this.
It's not like she did
life.
something little like conspiring
Yeah,
and,
she
and
was
treason
nonviolent
and lying to the FBI. It's not like,
Conspiracy to possess cocaine and attempted possession of cocaine.
and how long was she in jail,
attempted
supposedly?
possation of cocaine.
21 years.
That's a little
Attempted
excessive.
possession of cocaine,
Okay.
conspiracy to have cocaine. So
Okay.
maybe she didn't even have it.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So these are all
Yeah.
So she used her.
This silly little thing snuck in under the radar and like actually made a difference, you know, in the criminal justice
May I,
system.
and here's. I'm so sorry.
no,
to
no,
interrupt you,
please,
Connie.
please, no.
That makes me curious as to why she would do that. I'm not saying the Kardashians have no good intentions. I'm not a fan of them because of the message and what they put out with their reality show and what they've put out in the past and kind of the public image they put out. I'm not saying they do all bad things or that they don't have any good intentions to help people, but that makes me curious because I see the majority of what you put out there as your image and then you go and do this. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's interesting. Why?
Well, I'm saying you didn't know about it. So if they were doing it for those intentions, don't you think they would have made a bigger deal about it in the news?
I can't
You know?
defend that because
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of things that happen, and I'm the last person to hear about stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good response. A very fair response.
yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
It's
something I
very
need
weird.
to look into to be
Yeah.
completely honest with you.
Yeah.
You ever want to know about how wonderful the Kardashian empire is? Talk to this girl, because I feel like when I was here, I was like, I don't know, it's just not on my radar. Like I didn't know what it was. I didn't really understand what the stuff was. And from hanging out with you, I feel like I'm like blown away and have this crazy respect for all the Kardashian, Chris, and I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, but she's an encyclopedia of pop culture stuff.
I really am into
quite
the
crazy.
the
actually.
hottest goss. I'm really
Yes.
I enjoy
The hottest
it.
what?
She-
The hottest goss. Oh, the
hot-
goss. The
She's got all
gossip.
the hot goss.
What is goss?
gossip.
Oh, boy.
Not to be confused with the hot goss Ryan Gosling.
It's an
He's also a hot
He's
goss.
also the hot goss, but you're talking about the
Yeah.
hot gossip.
Fun fact about Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. It was Valentine's Day. I was in Silver Lake. I was walking to my car.
Of course, you were in Silver Lake and you saw Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, because he's probably going to Lil Dom's.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
It's perfect.
Sorry, we love this
I
story.
have
We
no
love
clue
this.
what those
This
connections
story
are.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just always see
Yeah.
paparazzi pictures of him in Silver Lake.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like
gotcha.
his stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
You like the
I'm
She
into
loves the
it.
hot goss.
all right.
Hot goss.
Hot goss. Okay. To each his own. So yeah, I'm in Silver Lake walking to my car. Tall man starts walking towards me. I look at him. Oh shit. Ryan Gosling. I am not exaggerating. Time slowed down. We made eye contact.
Yeah.
Felt my heart drop. And we walked past away from each other. I looked back and I had a lot of questions for myself. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that is the most gorgeous man
You
I've ever
shared
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was in love with 2 seconds with Ryan Gosling. I get why people are in love with him.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm saying that on air.
Yeah, no, I
He's
I-
the most
I
good-looking
completely agree.
guy I've ever met in person.
Honestly, that's one thing I think everybody in this room can agree on is
He's a
that
great
like
actor.
Ryan Gosling,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to hold him. You know, he's so
too.
nice and
He's
he's
a-
so
I
sweet.
know,
And
I know.
have you seen Lars and the Real Girl?
Yes,
So good,
they're
man.
so good.
That's like my
my
very
God.
favorite movie of all time.
Very great movie.
It's
I
just
feel
so sweet.
it'd be interesting to work with him. I like because especially with my current co-stars on my show, I love teasing people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to just mess with him constantly.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've seen the Ryan Gosling doesn't eat a cereal.
Love it so much.
I think what I'd like to do with Ryan is get like one of
Was
those
that Nick McGallis?
dolls.
Was that on Vine?
Yeah, I think it was on
Ryan
Vine.
Gosling.
Yeah, he passed away.
What?
Yeah.
The guy that made that video?
Yeah, and Ryan did a tribute to him by eating the cereal.
Nick McGowan?
That wasn't Nick McGallis.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because I knew Nick
was
from back
Ryan,
in the day.
Ryan
in Ohio.
McHenry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm just telling people
But he-
passed away on the show.
I thought it was
No,
our
that was-
friend.
No, he-
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm like, yeah, he passed away. Anyway,
Anyway.
The guy that came up with it actually did die.
Well, I will
Sad.
say I identify with you on that. I mean, like when I moved to LA, there's a certain kind of good-looking guy in LA, and they have they have incredible fashion and
Yeah.
I feel like I walk down the street, and I'm just like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
you're beautiful. Like it's
Yeah.
really quite crazy. They don't grow them like that in Ohio, or at least not as many. Like I feel like I walk down the street here, and I'm just like, everyone is so freaking pretty. It's quite crazy.
you know what it is? It's because of all the movies I've seen him in, and I
Yeah.
think that's what creates that thing. Because if he had walked by me, I'd be like, oh, good-looking dude.
Sure.
Bye. But it's because of the art he's put out and how I don't know how he's marketed himself. I'll give him credit for that. I always like to give the actors.
You know, he started out on the Mickey Mouse Club.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See?
I didn't know that.
And he auditioned to be in NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, one of them. But
really?
he didn't make it.
See, I learn something new every day. We saw, like, well, there's certain people that are like those superstars that when you meet them, and I feel like you go like, I get it. Like Chloe Grace Moretz was walking down the street, and I
Yeah.
just like was like, like you just they have and Rosario Dawson has that like they just you go yeah you have that whatever it is that je ne sais quoi, but like that just magnetism where you're just like you should be
But I feel like
famous.
Ryan Gosling's is so
Congratulations.
understated. Like he's so famous
What?
and he's so good
Understated?
looking. No, but I feel like
It's
he
Ryan
does.
Gosling.
But he doesn't.
It's
he
the hot
doesn't walk
goss.
around like I'm Ryan
Like, I'm the
Gosling.
hot
He's not.
goss.
You know
No,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah.
He's just like.
But everyone acknowledges that he's the hot goss.
Oh yes, but
Yeah.
I think it's because he's just so he's not like putting himself out there like that. I
Yeah.
think he's just him, and everyone just he's
humble
so-
and approachable
Yes.
and yeah.
If I'm ever in a movie with him, I'm gonna lie and say that whenever he enters a room, he's like, "Hey guys, Ryan Gosling here." I just say that in every interview. So
You
people think he does
should.
that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's good.
It'll work.
Yeah. Oh, there's a weird glare, and I thought Alex was taking a constant video with the flash on, and so it's actually the sun. And I'm like, and in the back of my mind, like for the last 10 minutes, I'm like, man, she needs to just put that phone down. Anyway, so if people want to check out your music,
Yeah.
it's all on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes, correct?
It is. It's on Apple Music. It's on
Great.
Spotify.
It's on Deezer. It's on
iTunes.
Deezer.
It's
Deezer. It's on Rhapsody.
I
don't
honestly
know.
like. I think it's very popular, maybe in other countries, because
Maybe.
we get like it. Like I used to use it as like a punchline, like a MySpace, like Deezer, like something you never.
Yeah.
But like we get a ton of listens from these bizarro So it is something. So it's someone's
something.
preferred platform.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know what it is.
Yeah.
But then there's like, Google Play and
It
all
should
that
be
kind
on
of
all
stuff.
the things.
It's on all the things.
Oh, awesome. All the things.
All the things.
I like
And our YouTube videos, we try to put out a video for each. So our goal is to do like a song a month and then 2 weeks later a video. So we try to just like do the drip, drip, drop, like little by
Do
little.
the drip, drip,
Do that
drop.
Drip, drip,
Drip,
drop.
drip, drop.
You know?
It's been an absolute pleasure
Oh, yeah,
talking
so
with you
fun.
guys,
Yay.
and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for
You guys
having
are
us.
awesome. And whenever you guys have your next album or whatever, please come back on and we
Oh,
can promote
man,
it and
you're
talk
Sure
about
will.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
yeah.
This is awesome.
You guys are great.
thank you, Mr. Michael.
Play it out.
Let's play it out. Thank you, everybody.
Turn up the guitar on my headphones.
Thank you to everybody for tuning in to Wesam's World. Thank you, Adobe Radio, Nice Guy Digital, Michael, Peyton, Steph, Alex. Thank you, everybody that makes Wesam's World possible. Thank you to our new listeners. Make sure you subscribe. Leave us a review if you'd like on iTunes. Or comment on our YouTube video that you're watching. I think we're on this camera. Maybe we're... No, we don't have a camera. We're on that camera. Sure. I'm trying to think. What else? Make sure you check out Munnycat. Some great music. And follow them on all their socials. Oh, boy.
Oh, the M-U-N-N-Y.
Yeah. The what?
Yeah, M-U-N-N-Y.
Oh, yeah. Munnycat.
That's right.
Munnycat.
I always forget.
Yeah. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk.